Well, folks, good afternoon. This is Eric D. Gilliard, aka the Manifesting Motivator, and this is episode number 3. That's right, episode number 3, and of Manifesting Life TV. And I thank you again for joining me today. Today, I've got an interesting topic that I'm going to share with you all. Part of my passion and my mission in this television vlogcast is to motivate you, is to encourage you, is to provoke you from a place of being complacent into a place of more than enough. And so my assignment in this project is to encourage you, is to help bring out the best in you. Everybody has been given a God-given gift and a talent and an ability. Unfortunately, many of us are not using the gifts that we've been giving, or our abilities that we've been giving. We're not using it to the full capacity. So, again, I'm your man, Eric D. Gilliard. You can find me on Twitter, Eric D. Gilliard, G-A-I-L-L-I-A-R-D. You can find me at Facebook on my business page, facebook.com/Eric D. D as in dynamic. Gilliard, G-A-I-L-L-I-A-R-D. That's facebook.com/Eric D. Gilliard. And do me a favor, leave a comment, share it, repost it, Tumblr it. You can find me on Tumblr as well. Tumblr it. Just help me get the word out and share a library of information with others. All right. So today, episode number 3 of Manifesting Life TV, and of course, it's another hot day. It's another scorcher in the Carolinas. I'm in the backyard, and I'm going to be shooting from different venues, from different environments. And so I'm an outdoorsman kind of a guy. So you're going to see me doing quite a few shootings, episodes from the outdoors. It's cool, right? All right, excellent. So today we're going to talk a little bit about some of the hindrances, some of the hindrances that we experience in our endeavor to bring about manifestation. Some of the hindrances that we come across. Now, first of all, let me preface that by saying this: many people freak out when and not everybody. So if it's not you, hey, if it don't apply, let it fly. All right. If it don't apply, let it fly. But there are some folks who are real deep, and they say, "Whoa, manifesting! Whoa, this is like crazy." No, folks, manifesting, you are doing it every day. You are manifesting something every day. Good, bad, hot, cold. You are manifesting something every single day. The challenge with many of us is that we are so unaware. I was going to say lethargic, but we're so unaware of what's happening in our lives and what's happening to us that we're just living our lives by default. Meaning that things are happening in your life and you have no clue of what's happening. And the fact is, and it is a fact, everything that you have, you created that. Can't blame it on your auntie, your uncle, your mama, your daddy. Can't blame it because of this color or that color, or because your color. You can't play the race card. You can't point the fingers. Everything that occurred in your life, you created that. Now of course, good things happen to bad people all the time. So don't rake me over the coals, everybody. Good things happen to bad people all the time, and there may be some outside forces that may have brought about situations in our lives. But somewhere in the back of our minds, we were harboring thoughts that nurtured those situations. I know you don't want to believe it. I know you say it's not true. The fact is, we are a product of our environment. So if you go back to, when we were born, somebody might have been born into a situation where they say, well, I didn't create this. I get that. So again, let's talk about where you are right now physically. Where you are right now on this planet Earth. We were created to have dominion on this earth. We were created in God's image and in His likeness to have dominion, to duplicate, to dominate. And one of the gifts that God has given us is an ability to create things in our lives. For example, the phone, the cell phone that you have in your hands, the video cameras that you're using. Some of us are using our phones to shoot these videos. The chairs you're sitting in, the tables that's holding the cameras and the phones, the glasses that you're drinking out of. You may have juice or punch, but this glass was created out of the mind of a human being. Got it? Everything that we have and everything that we're enjoying right now came out of the mind of a human being. So, let's drop all of the spirituality and the deepness. You know, yes, these are spiritual laws that's in action, but many of us have negated the fact that we are here as co-creators. That's good. Co-creators. So what does that mean, Eric? That means that if you're in a situation that you don't like, you have the power within to change that situation. Like that. Just like that. If you're in a job and you want a better job or a different job or better job situation, or if you're in a living situation that you desire to be out of and into a better situation, you could change it like that. Well, where does that begin? Between our two ears. The change begins between our two ears. So once you can grasp that, once you can acknowledge that yes, I am responsible for many of the things that's happened in my life, good, bad, and indifferent. I am the one who allows thoughts processes to take place in my mind and allow those thoughts to marinate and to saturate itself into other thoughts, which eventually led to action. The action may not have been productive. It may not have been action that's conducive to success, but it was action nonetheless. So if we want to change some of these things that's taking place in our lives, one of the areas of manifestations that I believe is a hindrance in our manifestation process is procrastination. Procrastination. I was trying to think of another way to term that. These shows, by the way, are live. I'm not editing it. I'm not cutting it. I may add something on special occasions, but for the most part, this is live, raw, in your face. So it is what it is. Folks, I love you. My heart's desire is to see change in the lives of everybody that I come in contact with, either via the internet or in person, or via the phone. And if I don't get a chance to meet you, and for some reason you may not agree with the things that I'm saying, that's okay. That's okay. You reserve that right to disagree. By the way, this is Manifesting Life TV, hosted by yours truly, Eric D. Gilliard. So if you have a different idea about some of the things I'm sharing, then maybe that's your passion to start your show. And I want to encourage you to start your show, because there's a wealth of room and space for everyone to grow and for everyone to share. So, what is one of the hindrances to manifesting? Procrastination. In fact, many people are experts in procrastination. Experts. You know that feeling like, you know what? I know I've got to do such and such in the next 10 minutes, but I'll wait about 30 minutes and then I'll come back to that. And how many know that you never come back to that? How many know that you never... In fact, sometimes you'll get a thought, you'll get an epiphany, like a booyah in your spirit or in your mind of an awesome idea, and you don't write it down. Wow. Huge mistake. Huge mistake. You should always carry a pad and a pen. I like blue ink. Always carry a pad and a pen, so that if you do have an idea or a thought, you can jot it down and you won't forget it. But what happens is a lot of people, they'll say, you know what, that was a great idea, but I'll write it down later, or I'll get to that later, or I'll think about it later. And when later comes, guess what happens, folks? What was that idea I had just a few minutes ago? Or that idea I had just an hour ago? So, how do you deal with this issue called procrastination? Let me tell you a story about a person who did some of the right things in manifesting. A couple of the key things in manifesting is you have to say something. Number one, you have to speak it, because there's life and death in your tongue. So you have to speak what you want. In fact, people are speaking it all the time. Every day, every hour, every second, people are speaking something, life or death, all the time. So number one, you have to say something. Number two, you have to be able to see it. See it. See it in your mind. See it in your spirit being. See it within yourself, even before you see it out here. Got it? Why is that important? Because if you can see it within your mind, if you can see it within yourself, you've started the process of the manifestation process. So here's a guy who's been believing for a job promotion, and for about a month and a half, this person has been visualizing himself getting his job promotion. He's been visualizing himself getting his increase on his job. In fact, I shared with him how important it is for him to actually see himself engaged in conversations that was moving towards his job promotion. In other words, he saw himself engaging in a successful interview. He saw himself shaking hands with the HR person. Okay, so he does this for about a month and a half, and after that time period, he comes back and he tells me that all of these doors are opening up. Like, these doors are opening up, and these folks are looking at him and considering him for this next job promotion. Well, guess what? When the job promotion opportunities came, he had an option. Option number one. He could have said, that job's for me. That's what I've been believing for. I'm going to go ahead and reach out to the HR manager. I'm going to reach out to some of the other managers, and I'm going to let them know that I'm here. Got it? Or, number two, or that person could have said nothing. Absolutely nothing. Could have said nothing, could have done nothing. Could have just done nothing. Just kind of sat back and let the days go by. And guess what, folks? Because that person put off the opportunity to meet the HR person, or put off the opportunity to drop off their updated resume, or put off the opportunity to have a mini interview with one of the other managers, that person chose to let other things take priority over this thing that they've been visualizing for a month and a half. Is that crazy, or is that crazy? Why would you spend that time visualizing, believing, building your belief level, and then when the doors open up, you do absolutely nothing. Nothing. That's ludicrous. But what he chose to do, he chose to follow up with a couple of the managers. Chose to reach out to the HR manager, and guess what? He is just steps away from his job promotion, from the manifestation of his promotion that he created. You got that? So many times people are they back off from taking responsibility for their own actions. We as a people, we tend to back off from being responsible for our own actions. And it's much easier in today's society to pass the buck. Much easier to pass it to that person. You be responsible. It's your fault I was late. It was your fault this didn't go right. It was your fault that this didn't go right. You follow? And how many know that's not the mark of a successful person? See, the mark of a successful, mature person is a person that recognizes where they are, takes responsibility for where they are, and decide to make corrective actions from where they are. Isn't that good stuff? Corrective actions from where they are. Person might say, well, you know, I'm not much for change, man. I don't like change. I can't deal with change. Folks, you're changing and you're making changes every day. Every day. Every single day you're making changes. Have you ever driven a car or a truck, an automobile, a boat? Have you ever driven a vehicle and not made any turns at all? Of course not. So if you were to take the time to count how many times you've had to make adjustments with the steering wheel in your automobile, it would blow your minds. You would stop counting. You turn left for this pothole. You turn right for that car. You turn right for that at that traffic light, and you're making adjustments all the time. All the time. So let's get out of our mindset that you can't really deal with change, because you're dealing with change every day. I need you to be able to grab a hold of this part so that you can say once and for all that I will not procrastinate. In fact, I'm going to procrastinate on my procrastination. I'm going to put off procrastinating because it's unproductive. It's unproductive. Okay, so the sun's going down right now. Folks, I'm really enjoying this time with you. I just want to share one or two things and I'm done. If you were to ask me what do you do? If you were to ask me, Eric, what do you do? One of the things I would probably say is I am an RN apprentice. I am an RN apprentice. And you might say, what does that mean? You're not a nurse? Of course I'm not a nurse. RN. How about right now? In the Bible it says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. How about this way? What you believe is the main ingredient for everything that you're going to get. It's the proof of everything that you'll see that you don't yet see. I wish I'd have written that down because I can't say it again the same way. It's the main ingredient. Faith. Faith. What you believe. What you believe is the main ingredient. Folks, what's the main ingredient of a hot dog? Come on. What's the main ingredient of a hot dog? Not the bun. It's the meat. It's the Frankfurter. What's the main ingredient of a hamburger? You got that right. It's the burger. It's not the mustard. It's not the ketchup. It's not the hamburger roll. I don't think. It's the burger. Your belief in anything you want is the main ingredient. It's the main thing. It's the main ingredient to your heart's desire, your belief. So how do you get that belief level up to the place where it's not just a substance of things not yet seen, but it's the proof. It's the proof. It's in your face proof of things that was not seen but now is seen. I promise you I didn't say it that way the first time, but okay. It's the proof. The proof is in the pudding. Okay? So, right now, not later belief, not down the road belief, right now belief. When that young man, when that person told me that they needed to believe, they needed to increase their faith, their belief, their chances of getting that job, they needed to increase it. I said, well, you need to begin running sitcoms within yourself, mini shows within yourself of exactly how you want that thing to work out. Run it in your mind, not the way you're afraid it can turn out, but run those shows in your mind the way you want it to turn out. You're the producer, right? You're the producer, you're the writer, because you're writing it. You're writing it with your tongue and with your hands. You're writing it. So run that scene in your mind over and over and over again. My paper's blowing away. Hang on, folks. Run that scene in your mind over and over and over again. Continue to run that scene in your mind until you begin having dreams about it at night. How many know that sometimes, many times, the last thing you think about or that you talk about is what you dream about, right? So run that scene, that scenario in your mind over and over and over again. Watch what happens. Then you're going to be inspired within a short period of time. You're going to be inspired to do something, or you're going to have a gut feeling to do something, gut feeling to call somebody. Don't put it off. Don't put it off. Follow your spirit. Follow your guts. Follow your instincts. Do it. Do it. Do it right now. Do it right now. Do it right now. Do it right now. And what will happen is, it's amazing because behind the scenes, there are all types of activities taking place behind the scenes. Wouldn't it be tragic if all of these activities was taking place behind the scenes? You are the manager, the other managers, the HR manager, everybody's in agreement that you are the one for the job, but you never did your part and put in your resume. That's tragic. That's tragic. All the other work has been done, and you decide to sit on your laurels. Well, then opportunity has passed, and that's been given to someone else. What have you allowed to pass you by? What have you allowed to pass you by that you didn't have to allow to be passed by, but you procrastinated on it? And are you willing to make a change now in a conscious effort to look for all the opportunities? My time is up. This is Eric D. Gilliard. Hit me up. Eric D. Gilliard. Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook. Facebook.com/Eric D. Gilliard. G-A-I-L-L-I-A-R-D. This is your man, Eric D. Gilliard, a.k.a. the Manifesting Motivator. Peace and love, everybody. Stay tuned for episode 4.